In a dark and quiet part of town, there was a young man named Suka. It seemed like bad luck had always been his companion. People believed that just being near him could bring trouble. King's sad story began when his mother passed away right after he was born. When he was only 8 years old, his father also fell seriously ill and left him and his sick brother alone. One evening, as Suking walked through the shadowy streets on his way back home, fate had a surprise waiting for him out of nowhere. A thief ran past him, holding onto a girl's back. Without the second thought, King decided to chase after the criminal determined to catch him, but in a twist of fate, he accidentally bumped into the girl, causing her to faint. It was almost like the universe wanted to prove that he was indeed a bearer of bad luck. However, Suka didn't give up and continued his pursuit of the thief as he hurried through the twisting and turning streets. Fate had another surprise in store for him. An old man surrounded by an air of mystery was sitting there, solemnly burning some old papers. The old man's eyes locked onto Suka and he signaled for the young man to come closer. In their conversation, the old man revealed a shocking truth. Suka was actually his long-lost son, a fact that had been unknown for many years. Additionally, the elderly man possessed incredible powers, which he wanted to pass on to Suking. In an amazing act of magic, the old man gave Sukan a special gift: golden eyes. This gift would only grow stronger if used for good, but the old man warned Suking that using it for bad things would lead to trouble. Overwhelmed by this incredible change, King's strength left him and he fell to the ground. The next morning he woke up feeling confused right in the middle of a busy street. Meanwhile, somewhere else in the world, we meet Liu, a friendly and slightly overweight guy who was the only person Suking confided in. Liu's grandma owned a charming little bookstore where Suking often helped out. In the next part of our story, an auction was happening run by an auctioneer featuring a valuable dragon stamp from the Chang dynasty. But just before revealing the precious stamp, a lady named Liu Wayu cleverly swapped it with a fake one. She hid the real stamp inside a book and quietly put it under a table, planning to come back for it later. However, destiny took a turn when an unknowing cleaner mistook the book for trash and threw it away. Luckily, the book ended up in Liu's grandma's bookstore and Suking became its unsuspecting owner. When Suking got back home, he had a simple meal with his caring sister-in-law. She had made dumplings with love, but he noticed the sadness on her face, a sign of their tough financial situation. She shared that she was taking care of all their expenses like rent, his school fees and his brother's growing hospital bills. Touched by her sacrifice, Suking decided he needed to find a part-time job to help out, but she begged him to focus on his studies and declined his offer with a heartfelt plea. After going back to his room, Suking took out the book he had bought from Liu's charming bookstore. To his surprise, he made an incredible discovery. He had a special superpower that let one of his eyes see through solid things. While marveling at this newfound ability, he also stumbled upon the real dragon stamp hidden inside the book, unaware of its true worth. Not long after making this incredible discovery, Suking went to see his friend Liu. Liu then introduced him to a wealthy collector named Tong Gin, who had a deep love for old things, especially stamps. When Gin saw the dragon stamp that Suking had, he was taken aback for a moment. He realized that he had been tricked in the previous auction, where he had paid a huge 800,000 apend for a fake stamp. To make sure it was genuine, Gin called in an expert to carefully check the stamp. To everyone's surprise, the stamp turned out to be a real treasure, so Gin asked how much King and Liu wanted for it, and they humbly suggested 400,000 apend. A thrilled Gin gave them the agreed amount in cash, leaving the young men in complete amazement. Convinced that Sukan was a bringer of good luck, Gin invited him to join a stone gambling contest in Yen the next week. But Suka was facing a difficult choice in the hospital. His sister-in-law was pleading with the medical staff for more time to gather money for her sick brother's treatment. Sadly, the doctor wouldn't budge. Suking showed up and put a stack of money on the doctor's desk, asking if it was enough for his brother's surgery. Sadly, the doctor told him it cost 1 million yuan, which was way more than he had. Feeling desperate, he remembered Gin's invitation and went to find the wealthy collector in the hopes of getting the money he needed. Next, they went to Yan where they were welcomed by a famous stone artist named Mani Si Chong. After enjoying a fancy tea ceremony at Si Chung's place, Suka went to the restroom. When he came out, he unexpectedly met the same girl he had accidentally knocked out earlier. He quickly started apologizing and convinced her to go with him to his hotel room. The girl introduced herself as Luinin Su, but Su came, misunderstood her and thought she wanted a romantic date. As a result, he jokingly teased her, which led to a friendly pillow fight between them. The next day, Su came Yen Hu Bin and Si Chung went to the stone market. On the way there, Si Chung shared his knowledge about different kinds of stones and how to evaluate them. According to X Chung's advice, finding valuable jade hidden within a stone could bring wealth because jewelers would be eager to offer a lot of money for it. Motivated by this, Su King used his special power to identify the stone with the precious jade inside. Together, they went to a shop owned by a seemingly shady man named Bai Street June. At the shop, they chose a stone and had it professionally cut, revealing a red jade inside, but when Saint June saw it, he boldly took the stone and said it wasn't for sale. Si Chong, angry at this, confronted him, which led to a surprising proposal, saying June challenged them to a gambling match to settle the argument. Although this strange challenge caught everyone off guard, Su King, confident in his abilities, agreed to the bet. As they were leaving, a group of intimidating gangsters with weapons confronted them. In a quick decision, Su Ken and Yin Su ran in one direction while Gin and X Chung fled in the opposite direction. Unfortunately, Yin Su couldn't run as fast and was captured by one of the gangsters. As danger approached, Su King stepped in and fought off the attacker, saving Ni Su but hurting his hand in the process. Back at their hotel, Gin asked Si Chung why Sangjun seemed to dislike them so much. X Chung explained that they used to be college friends but had become bitter rivals in business. This revelation made Gin suspect Sangjun's involvement in the gangster incident. Meanwhile, Yin took care of Yu King's injured hand and their friendship grew stronger. The next day, Su King went shopping with Yin. Su, while she was trying on clothes, Sangjun's henchmen kidnapped Su King and forced him into a car. Sang Jun made a tempting offer of 1 million upend in exchange for Su King's cooperation, but Su King, guided by his principles, turned down the offer, planning to leave. However, Sang Jun gave him a chilling ultimatum: unless Su King won the upcoming challenge, he would never see his sick brother and friends again. Worried and anxious, Su King hurried back to the mall to find Hyena Su, but she had disappeared completely. He realized that Sang Jun's warnings were serious. On the day of the stone gambling competition, Suka was torn between his loyalty to Gin and Si Chung and Sang Jun's ominous threats. He faced a difficult decision that could affect the lives of the people he cared about deeply. During the gambling event, all the participants carefully picked and marked stones with their symbols before giving them to the judges. In the middle of this, Si Chung received a message with pictures of Su King and Sangjun together. Suspicion grew in him and he quickly told Gobain they confronted Su Ken, worried that he might betray them. Su King strongly reassured them that he was still loyal and used his special power to identify a unique stone. Just when things got tense, Yan Su arrived and explained that she had left the mall the previous day because she couldn't find Yak's king. They were relieved to see her safe. A little while later, the judges started cutting the stones. During this process, there was a gasp of amazement from the crowd as a rare diamond-shaped jade appeared. Si Chung felt disheartened thinking that Sang Jun was going to win with this valuable jade perfect for making Buddhist art. What no one knew was that Sani Jun had manipulated the outcome by bribing the judges and choosing a specific stone to impress his boss. Quite too. In a different part of the story, Su King used his golden eyes to carefully examine his stone and confidently marked out where it should be cut. To everyone's surprise, the stone turned into a rare octagonal jade bead, making Suka the winner of the gambling competition. Sang Jun was not happy about this. Later that evening, Su King gave Yin Su a beautiful bracelet which made her very happy. Their connection grew stronger and they shared a warm hug. On another front, Sang Joon had a tough video call with his boss, who scolded him for his failure. Desperate to make amends, Sangjoon promised to get the dragon stamp and earn one last chance from Kaiju, but he was warned not to fail again. In another part of the story, Suking and his friends went to an auction to sell his precious jade, and it sold for an incredible 8 million yuan. He felt incredibly happy when the auction ended. Afterward, Gin took the spotlight, showing two dragon stamps. In a dramatic gesture, he tore up the fake one in front of everyone, making it clear that there was only one real dragon stamp. They celebrated this success, and Meng invited them to a joyful bonfire party to mark their victory in the stone gambling competition. But in the middle of the celebration, Doobie was kidnapped by Kai Tua's henchmen. When Suking and his friends heard the news, they didn't know what to do. Then Suking got a chilling call from Kai Tu, who made a grim demand. Gin's release depended on giving up the dragon stamp. After the recent events, Sang Joon went to meet his boss to explain his failure. He was upset about losing a massive 80 million upend because of his mistakes and was told he had to pay back the debt. Desperate to save himself, Sang Joon revealed a surprising secret. The dragon stamp had a map leading to a hidden treasure worth billions of upend. He also said that Kit, being a foreigner, couldn't access this treasure, and he proposed that he should be the one to explore it. Unfortunately for Sang Joon, Kai Tu saw through his plan and responded with evil laughter and a merciless attack for his deceit. On a different front, Su, King Yen and Si Chung started a brave mission to sneak into Kai Tu's stronghold to rescue Gubing. They were determined and worked together to overcome guards and get inside the compound, but their happiness turned into sadness when they found Gin locked in a cage with a bomb that was about to explode. Su Kan tried to use his powers to defuse the bomb, but it was too much for him. Suddenly, Kaiju arrived with a gun, holding them hostage and demanding the dragon stamp. Innocently, Suking gave Kaiju the stamp, begging him to let Gin go, but Kai-tu, driven by deceit and cruelty, refused, saying that only the dead kept their promises. In their darkest moment, Yin cleverly distracted Kai-tu with her bracelet, which allowed the others to take away his gun. At the same time, the police arrived and arrested Kai-tu, and his gain justice was served as the bad guys were finally held accountable for their actions. In the final part of the story, Suka met the mysterious old man once more, who revealed a new power of the golden eyes, the ability to see into the past. With this new knowledge, the story came to an end.